Everyone, this is George Couros with a special, episode of the Innovators Mindset podcast. If you are listening to this, it's because I published it and a little nervous to do so because it is being shared on July 3rd of 2022, even though it's being recorded at the end of May. And I have a little bit of personal news. And honestly, I don't know if anyone cares other than myself, but I wanted to share, what I'm doing and kind of why I'm doing it and like my thinking surrounding all of this stuff. So there's not going to be no podcast theme music. There's not going to be, any buzzers or anything like that. It's just me talking for a little bit. And I think it's a little bit of therapy, maybe even for myself, just to kind of talk it out what I'm doing. So uh, I'm recording this at the end of May in my home office, but this is going to be one of the last recordings I do in this office because my family and I are moving to Orlando, and we're moving out of Canada. And there's several reasons on why we're doing this, and I think one of them is kind of the mantra. And this isn't just a me decision; it's a family decision. Uh, it's because I've always believed this idea that change is an opportunity to do something amazing. I've shared that over and over and again, and I feel I'm very stagnant. I'm struggling, just with inspiration, things like that, and I'll get kind of more into it. And I feel, and I've said this a million times, it's something I truly believe. And sometimes I feel that I'm a hypocrite because there's sometimes I'm terrified of doing this myself. Is that the best way you can deal with change is to initiate it yourself? And I feel that this is something that we wanted to do to initiate for some different opportunities, some different things. And, my most probably 95% of my work is in the United States. And I just feel there's some different things I want to try and different things I want to do. So, yeah, we're moving to Orlando. And I've said this before, talking about what risk actually is. And when I talk about risk, it's simply this idea: risk is moving from a comfortable average in pursuit of an unknown better. And I can tell you, I'm really content where I am. I'm good. I know where everything is. I know how to get around my city, things like that. But I feel for me right now, it's this kind of comfortable average. I need to try something new. And I was thinking about this as I was kind of like, writing some notes down, like, what I would want to talk about with this. I've noticed in my career, in my work, since basically I moved out of my house as a kid, I don't really like to stay places too long, whether that's work. And it's just me. I feel like I get to a point where I just need a new challenge. I need something to do. And this is a big one. This is a big challenge for me because I'm trying to find that, I don't know necessarily better, but to kind of just, I always look at these changes as a way to kind of sharpen my saw. And I remember that there's a video that I saw on TikTok, and I don't know where it is, but it's not my idea. This idea of the two people in the world that you need to make happy are the 8-year-old version and the 80-year-old version of you. And I talked about like what are those dreams that you used to have as a kid? What are some of those things to do? And like I'll tell you, I'm real excited to go to a place where there's an NBA team. If anyone listens to this, I try to work basketball into every single conversation because I love it so much. That's something that's really exciting to me. There's like little things that I want to do, close to an NFL team, things like that. Um, and so like some of those little dream things I've wanted to do, I feel I have access to um, on a more, I guess I don't want to say normal basis, more consistent basis. But I also want to think about the 80-year-old version of me, and I think a lot about um, professionally the things I want to achieve. But I think with COVID in the last couple of years, I really think about my family, and the 80-year-old version of me really wants to ensure that my kids have opportunities that I didn't have. And I feel that there, and maybe just some different things I didn't have as a kid, which I'm really excited about. And I think about we were considering this move, and um, we went to Orlando, and as you can tell, I'm terrified. I'm nervous. Like I don't, I want to. I wish I could just say like, "Hey." but I think that's one of the reasons I want to share this is because it's scary. It's scary to do something really different. And but I also that I think sometimes you got to go. You got to do your thing and move on. And we went to Orlando with the intent of saying like, "Hey, is this something we could do?" Uh, in February, and to kind of see that experience and see what it's like. And when I talk about the 80-year-old version of me, um, one of the things I noticed was how much easier it was for me to travel to do the work that I do, to speak at events and things like that. And that was awesome. It was easier, and I think back to how I got into a huge mess. I'm sure if you've listened to me for any amount of time, I've lost a ton of weight over COVID and really got my health in check. And I feel that is because I had some consistency and routine. Uh, but where that was taken away was traveling to where I live right now is really, really hard. It's really tough. And so yeah, it's bad for my physical health, I found. But I also noticed that I'm getting way more time with my family, which is what's most important to me. When I think of my 80-year-old self, I've always wanted to be a dad. The thing that I wanted more than anything in the world growing up was not to do the work that I'm doing today, even though I feel truly blessed. It was to be a dad. But I didn't want to just be a dad. I wanted to, be actively involved. And the less time I can spend on the road, the more time I can have, with my family. And I feel like sometimes it's tough because uh it's I love doing what I do more than anything. And but I also love being home, and I love being with my family and love being with my kids and watching them grow up and having experiences that I missed out on with Kalia. And I think COVID was a recalibration for me. I think that's one of the things that's the 80-year-old version of me talking to myself on why I'm doing this move. But also I think for my mental health, and um, I think when I saw my kids there in the sunshine and swimming and things like that, uh, it really I know that's not everyone has access to that stuff, and I noticed that my mood really changed as well, and my mental health was a little bit better. And living in Canada for 47 years, I have never got used to the snow. I've never got used to the dark, things like that. And I think part of it is like my mental health, I noticed was better there. And I know it's like, well, that's easy to say because you're on a vacation. And maybe that's true. Maybe it is true, but maybe it's not. But I know what I know. And this is coming back to the idea of risk is moving from a comfortable average in pursuit of unknown better. I think I know there's going to be pluses and minuses with wherever you are in the world, but I feel it's time for a change and to be doing this stuff. And so just kind of watching, look at my own health, the happiness of my kids, some of the opportunities. I think that's where 80-year-old George is excited. Um, and there's a little part of me there is like if you I know a lot of people from the US listen to this. There's a TV show in Canada when I was growing up. It's called The Littlest Hobo. And it's The Littlest Hobo was this movie about this German Shepherd dog who would like go to a town, and then there would be like some conflict happening, and the dog would somehow help. And it was like, oh, the dog is the best, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of every episode, the dog would like leave the place. And so the dog made the place better. Um, and then actually, would just go on and move on to another place. And I feel there's a little bit of that in me where um I like the change in routine. I like going to new places. I like going to meet different people. Um, so I just want to see if what this does. And the reality of it is I can change this if it doesn't work out as well. And so if you've ever heard me speak, I talk a lot about my parents and their willingness to take a risk to do something better for their lives. And I'll tell you, they grew up in basically what I would consider paradise in Greece. And often think like, why would they leave? Like, why would they leave this place? It's right by the beach. It's beautiful and things like that. And they left because um, they saw opportunity for not only themselves but for their family. And I think following their footsteps, I was just talking to Sean Gaylord, and I had shared this news with him. He said, "It's really amazing how cyclical this is for you in your life, that, your family went to another country for that opportunity, and you're kinda doing the same thing." And, you know, I'm nervous about it, but I believe that I'm in the mentality where I'm going to a place, and I'm not just gonna say, "Well, I'm gonna go to a place. This is gonna, inspire me. This is gonna, create something maybe different that maybe I'm looking for." But I feel like I'm going to a place that I'm ready to initiate some of those changes when I'm there. Years ago, I actually was about to quit education. And by the way, I'm not like quit. I'm not planning to leave the realm of education and the work that I do today. But I remember actually leaving education, or leaving a job that I wasn't like hated, but I wasn't happy with. And I felt like if I just keep going on the same path, I'm going to hate this profession. So I actually went to a new school. And when I went to this new school, I remember like I tried to get out of this one school for years to move to a different city, move to a different place. For years and years, I could not get out. I couldn't get a job, couldn't get an interview. And then I remember going to that place. I remember going to this new school, and I said, "Look, nobody knows me here. Nobody knows about my work ethic. Nobody knows about my views in education. I literally have a blank slate, and I'm never going to fight for a job the way I did before. I'm going to like create a new version of me." And so I'm going to go into that space, and I'm just going to do something better. And I'll tell you, from almost quitting education, and then 1 year became, 1 year in, I became a vice principal. 2 years after that, I became principal. Then I got to work central office. Now I get to do the amazing work that I do. And I feel that, yeah, I can build on some great things I've done, but I'm going to a new space, and I'm not just looking at a professional change. I'm looking at a personal change. Um, Looking at making some, more friend connections, things like that too. And I feel it's a good time to share this because I know people are in summer. You might not be listening to this, which if I said that, how would you know? Because if you're not listening to this, you would know that I said you're not listening to this. But I feel a lot of people are going into summer, looking at change. I think for me, this is one of those ways that I can actually start with a blank slate, really kind of go. So one of my favorite lines is, uh, the grass is not always greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. And I feel like I just need to get to the other side so I can water something. So I feel like there's a combination of those two things. And I just yeah, I just wanted to share this with you all. Kind of felt rambly and stuff like that too. I think it's part of the reason I want to share it is that I don't try to do perfection. I don't read scripts. I don't uh, necessarily know what to say when I'm going to turn on this mic and share. But I wanted to share because I'm really excited about this. It is July 3rd right now. Based on the travel plans I have, Uh, I'm driving all the way from Edmonton, Alberta to Orlando, which is like a 5-day trip. And July 3rd will be the last day of my driving, and I should arrive in Orlando tonight if all goes to plan. And the reason I'm driving is because I'm taking my dogs because I don't feel comfortable with them on a plane, and I'm willing to drive across the continent to make sure my dogs are safe. Because if you know me, I'm like my dogs are my everything, and I love them. I know they're not family to some, but they're family to me, and I want to make sure they're safe on that trip. So yeah, I should be arriving there tonight if you listen to this. Now, if you're not listening to this because I never published it, I chickened out, which is like, I hope I didn't chicken out. But yeah, today is that day, and I just want to share that with you all because I love this little wall, love this house, and I feel like I've shared so much of I shared, I guess, what I wanted to share of my life with people in this space. But I'm really excited to try something new. I'm really excited to see if I can open up some new doors for myself because I need a change because I feel like I'm really um, stagnating in my thoughts, stagnating in um, my work. And I guess maybe not even that. I think I just feel like I'm stagnating in some personal areas. And I couldn't have done this. Um, this is not a me decision. This is a family decision. I would have never done this if my family was not okay with it. But we're all excited about this, and yeah, I want to share this because I I just want to share that I guess live by the things that I share. This idea of risk is moving from a comfortable average in pursuit of I know better. I don't know if this is gonna be better. I don't. I don't. I'm terrified that it's not. But I know what I know, and I want to try something better. And I guess it's partly, hey, is this gonna open up something new for me? But also, am I willing to do stuff to open these things up for me? I believe you that doors present themselves, but you have to actually be able to willing to go through them and do something on the other side for those opportunities to happen. I'm willing to do that. So I just want to share that with y'all, and hopefully I'm getting there tonight. Uh, And um, my parents took a risk for something better for their kids, and I hope I'm doing the same thing because I want to make sure I open some doors for my kids. Clea is really excited. She's already enrolled in a musical theater class. I know it's something that she really wants to do, and I'm excited about that because that's not an opportunity that is here at that young age that we've been able to find. And there's like little things like that that I'm excited about. So as I've always shared, change and opportunity is something amazing. Is that change? And the words are important. It's an opportunity. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. And it won't happen unless I actually do something with this opportunity. It's an opportunity. I'm going to make something happen of this. So uh, here I am, new place, sharing with you all. And I just want to share that part of the journey because you'll see some podcasts over the next coming weeks. You'll hear them that I pre-recorded with other people because I like to record stuff all the time. But I left this spot open specifically, knowing that I could be there that day, and hopefully, maybe I'll be listening to this as I drive in to Orlando. But thanks for all your support, and thanks for all you do. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this. But I just wanted to share that journey with you because I know a lot of people that listen to this or reach out to me and share ideas with me. Um, they're taking risks themselves, and I want to show that I'm willing to do that. And that even though it's exciting and scary, but I'm gonna do my best to take advantage of this. Thanks for listening. Hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.